York, you can hear me, right?
Oh, I can't move like anywhere else but forward.
I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait.
Look at his swagger for someone dying.
I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do.
He also does not look like he's actually stepping on the floor.
Filled with shitty people. Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right?
I know there's restaurants.
Let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt smoothies.
You don't want a Sinner sandwich?
So excited, York.
Didn't want him to just keep walking and fade out. The ferry!
York, don't rush me. You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have one job left to do. I need to finish it.
Was that
Have to.
Emily?
Else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time, okay?
I don't know if that was supposed to be Emily or just like someone else from this game. Back in 2019, I told you. Actually, this isn't. Is this? Yeah, it was 19. Wasn't sure if 2019 was when this conversation was happening.
Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise. But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her. What a terribly convenient story. You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime, right then and there.
Like, does she think that he did it?
Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
I had a deadly premonition. I told you it was a blessing in disguise. 2. Dead 2E premonition. Blessing in disguise. Excuse me.
Metaphysical offender profiling.
What now? Mop?
Meta what?
Meta what now?
Should I know this word?
Shut your mouth.
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Carré report and 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report.
Were there 14 encounters like that? I feel like that's a lot for the Greenvale report. Maybe it's counting the urban legends.
As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use. But we're different. You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect. Then you did it again and again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files. Metaphysical offender profiling. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
I have to go into a weird combat zone and fight demons.
We could try. But no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side.
Weird combat zone, I told you.
Come, my fairy. Stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What? You're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
I'm talking to my fairy, shut up.
Don't be afraid. You can do it. It's okay. Come on. Come on.
Was that lightning? Oh yeah, it's getting scary outside.
Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection. Much deeper than how it appears on the surface. I need to shake him with something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force.
Start punching him. Old messy letter that way. Can't really look at anything else. I don't know what would be necessary.
Letters. These must be the letters that he mentioned in the report.
Why did he still keep them?
That dragonfly mark proves it.
It doesn't really say who it's from besides just Carré. Tell me about him.
Those letters look very old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana. And I suspect that dragonfly mark belongs to the Clarkson family.
What would make you think that?
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this?
Is it a giant?
Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters.
Also, they just kind of proved what I was thinking by calling her Clarkson.
She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking.
Which
near
might have
the
been the name they
mansion
used
several times.
earlier on. I just didn't really catch it, 'cause I wasn't like paying attention to names that much when they were first doing this bit.
And just last week, her employees spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered.
It was a
You're
giant.
aware of this, correct? Because I didn't find any mention of this in your report.
No direct connection to the case.
The giant didn't do the killing.
That's what we must have thought.
You don't know?
The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. Which are you?
I'm feeling like I actually
That's
used the
enough
thing
for
that I was
now.
supposed to, which is upsetting.
This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Okay, good, it wasn't. I don't know which one. I mean, I guess I can. Phew. Thank you. Let's look at Greenvale again.
Reading over it again, I can't help but notice how well organized this report is. One might even call it perfect. Except some parts have been redacted in an extremely suspicious way.
It says you went into the community center and then everything else is just blank there? What exactly happened?
Why are all these places blotted out? Mr. Morgan, I noticed that several parts of this report have been redacted. For example, here. One individual's name has been erased from the key figure list. Would you mind telling me why?
I'm wondering who specifically
Someone
it's
in
going to be,
charge
though.
Must have thought it was unimportant, or maybe even inappropriate.
Why would they think that?
How should we know? We've never understood what those people do.
What do you mean by those people?
Well, I took the liberty of trying to restore what was taken out. Normal ink was used to blot it out, so I was able to recover part of it. Here's what it says. Sapling salesman.
Okay. It was a vague statement, not like an official
All
name.
the other redacted parts seem to be connected to this person.
It would make sense that it would be redacted, though, because you can't really explain that.
But I can't think of a single reason why this individual would need to be removed from the report.
Did they
Why
never
is he
use the
so
name?
untouchable?
I wonder if they're being vague because it's going to be like a big shock in this game.
He's nothing. We were barking up the wrong tree.
Meaning?
Can't include someone who doesn't exist in an official report, now can we?
Doesn't exist. You mean he had nothing to do with the case?
Yeah, you could say that.
You would almost think that the Greenvale case would have been swept under the rug a lot, because part of it was technically military involvement, right? Like, I would imagine they wouldn't want that to surface.
Someone stole Lisa's body and it's been missing for the past 14 years. I find it hard to believe that it was simply hidden in that cold storage warehouse the entire time. Why wasn't a more detailed investigation carried out?
I don't know, we just forgot about it.
Mr. Morgan, according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really
The
put
whole
her
truth
body
and
there
nothing but the
alongside
truth?
food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
Was that shockingly inhuman?
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know.
Is it not?
In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing it.
Like, I don't know.
It's precise, and it's also kind of poetic, you know?
Doesn't seem like it would be a good way to report the case, but whatever.
Wow, Simon. We never would have taken you for a poet.
Oh, I write so much poetry, especially about pizza.
Right?
You two think this is a joke?
Kind of.
Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner. That poor girl.
I feel like this is also partially the FBI's fault for just allowing one guy to handle the case.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her. We're sorry, from the bottoms of our hearts.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
Will you comfort me?
He's talking to his fairy, but that was still kind of weird.
Thank you, my fairy.
I knew it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way. I could use Agent Jones here.
I don't know. I'm gonna look at the window.
That's the window that faces the street out front.
That sure is a window.
I can tell just from the layout of his furniture. Now I'm surrounded by everything I couldn't see out there.
Tell me about the window.
This is a nice building. Layout isn't bad either. Whew. Must be rather expensive to rent a place like this in Boston. How many other rooms are there in this apartment? That room over there, your bedroom?
Huh. Why so curious, Belle?
Don't you know? I'd imagine you probably looked at the room layout.
It almost sounds as if you're seeing this place for the first time. Aside from the hardware shop on the first floor, every apartment in this building has the exact same layout. We're well aware that you studied the layout of this apartment before you came to see us.
Yeah. So, like, were you
no
being coy
need
about
to act
this?
so roundabout. Just be honest. Say it. I want to see your bedroom.
Well then,
Doesn't mean we'll let you see it, though.
Damn, got me there. Almost had him. Yo, but check out the pile of DVDs.
films teach us all we need to know.
Paris, New York seems cool.
That's ridiculous.
Low Sky. Something with a 4.
I'd rather read a book than watch a stupid movie.
I hate you. You're the worst person ever. Thought there was something else to the left. Alright, movie time.
It's bugging you, isn't it, Aaliyah?
Huh? What?
You just really want to watch those movies.
I get it. It's bugging me too. It's even got my heart racing a little. I mean, look at this. Nothing but DVDs.
Why does he have so many copies of Police Dogs?
Not a single Blu-ray in sight, just pure, unadulterated DVDs.
You know, I thought about seeing if they were Blu-rays, but I just kind of didn't care. I assumed that some of them were supposed to be because they just have the blue casing.
And he's got VHS tapes, too.
Oh, that's cool. Spaceballs! That's cool that they just have
I don't
Spaceballs
even have a VHS
there.
player in my house anymore. Whoa, look at this. Check it out.
Yeah, Spaceballs!
This one's got a lot of pizza in it, remember?
You're not wrong, Simon.
Oh, I see you know about Spaceballs and pizza, Simon.
There's a very large quantity of pizza in that film. 1987, directed by Mel Brooks. The version on that tape is the one we recorded back when you could catch it on cable TV.
Seriously? Damn, Morgan, that's incredible. You're really living the dream, man.
Living the dream with Spaceballs on VHS, recorded from TV.
I hope you both haven't forgotten that this conversation is also being recorded.
So? They're talking about Spaceballs. Also, the way Zach was saying, oh, it was recorded back when it aired on TV. Oh, made it sound like he was talking about, like, trying to tell a scary story, like it was a creepypasta.
Checked out. Despite the fact that we're heading deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole here.
He's just thinking about Spaceballs too much. Alright, tell us, nervous Simon.
Agent Jones. Are you paying attention?
Agent Jones, what is your favorite scene from Spaceballs? Your favorite scene that doesn't have pizza
Or
in
do you
it.
intend to
Got
waste
you there.
Mr. Morgan's precious time?
No, sorry. I'm just a little tired. I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
That's where I keep my pizza, though.
Right. Guess they slipped my mind. My bad. I'm actually kind of nervous.
I don't like thunder.
I'm not used to this sort of thing. Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had some pizza, though.
It did take a bit for him to actually mention pizza. Well, Spaceballs, he mentioned pizza. Never mind. That seemed more like a shameful laugh. Like he knew.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. I'll have to ask the questions myself. But how should I start? Maybe I should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation.
Maybe if you watch some movies. Ceiling light. Well, obviously ceiling light's not the important
An elegant,
thing.
antique lighting fixture. And most of his other furniture is of the same quality. Why is his room such a mess then? This is why instead of calling him a dangerous person, they've labeled him a high-functioning sociopath.
Who's they? Tell me about your light. Is there nothing? Okay.
Just the usual around here, no need to worry.
I didn't hide my stash up there.
The usual?
Yes. A strange person lives upstairs.
Oh, that was supposed to be them, like, being
Every
strange.
now and then, he makes noise.
Do you keep the giant up there?
What's strange about him?
Several years ago, a woman was murdered upstairs. Her husband still lives there.
Yikes.
He's ex-BPD, and apparently he's still searching for the killer.
Oh! Wait.
But it seems like they cut all support for the investigation due to decreased funding.
Oh no! Is he talking about Dark Dreams Don't Die? Same apartment. All support for the investigation was cut due to decreased funding.
The team on the case wanted to keep working on it, but the suits would
Oh, this makes me sad.
A tale as old as time.
He has a weird cat up there.
Due to his situation, perhaps. He's been making a lot more noise recently. Like you just heard.
You never noticed anything, Agent Jones.
Well, I did hear some loud noises every now and then.
There's a weird cat up there.
But I didn't think they were real noises coming from upstairs.
There's a guy named after someone from Deadly Premonition that just eats.
I mean, look at him. It's not like he's reacting to the noise. He always just went about his business as usual for all the years I've watched him. So I just figured it was coming from the TV.
You really amaze me sometimes.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'm glad I looked at that then. Got an official Dark Dreams thing to make me
So far,
sad.
Everything checks out with the report. But there were always some parts of the report that didn't make sense. He expects me to believe he just happened to solve a case this difficult while he was on vacation? And metaphysical offender profiling? I won't let him distract me with his fancy made-up words.
Fancy made-up words.
After you arrested Galena Clarkson, you had a run-in with the Clarksons.
I mean, I would hope that you would.
At least that's what it says in the report.
Had to fight an alligator, maybe?
What exactly happened there?
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth. Truth doesn't work like that.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
A mountain? Oh, no, that's exciting.
Oh, Belle. We think we finally understand what you're trying to say. But don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know.
I appreciate the Dark
Yes.
Dream reference. It makes me sad, though.
Coarsely ground, so there should only be 4 teaspoons per cup.
Are we gonna, like, sneak into his room with
No
us?
more, no less. Next, the coffee travels from the funnel to the siphon. Simon, normally you only do surveillance in order to gather data, correct? Hiding microphones and cameras, sifting through garbage, wiretapping, shadowing, tracing credit card histories. You'll do whatever it takes to gather data in order to prevent crimes. That's how the FBI works.
Well, yeah, you're right. No reason in hiding it now, I guess. Why do you ask?
Our Southern Belle has adopted a very peculiar MO. It's almost like she has a special
What?
power, just like us.
She looks like she's spacing out right now.
You've been watching us this entire time, haven't you, Belle? From that window.
I don't need to answer that question.
That sounds like an answer in itself.
You came here on New Year's Eve, then spent 49 hours watching us until you returned to your hotel room last night. You observed us the entire time without sleep or rest. And you only ate once, some pizza delivered by Simon. Aside from that, you never drank any water or relieved yourself. You simply sat there and continued to watch us. You have visions, too, don't you?
I don't know where you connected that to
You
visions.
came here solely to hear us talk, didn't you? But then, why bother watching us for over 2 days beforehand? You didn't come to talk with us. You came because you wanted to see this apartment with your own eyes. And because you're already convinced of something. Isn't that right? He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you.
But I...
Oh, coffee.
But I what? Stop talking about coffee now.
Thank you, my fairy. If you hadn't been paying attention, this coffee would have all gone to waste. The pus in our brains. It really has a way of interfering with our lives. Didn't remember. She came along.
Well, now I'm more interested in what's happening in 2019. Come on.
Oh. What the Christ?
That seemed very weird how he delivered that.
This is friggin' delicious. I thought I was gonna shit myself for a second.
What?
Come on, Aaliyah, take a sip.
Shit yourself too.
Trust me. I'm not exaggerating here.
It'll explode.
I don't believe it. It's better than any coffee I've ever tasted.
Ever.
Of course it is. Coffee is a sacred drink. Coffee saved us. If not for its oracle, we would be on the other side right now.
Right. FK in the coffee.
So I never forget to pay my respects to coffee. Especially at critical moments like this.
So does he not get coffee premonitions yet? I mean in 2005, because we haven't really used coffee.
Clouds are in the sky. And that sound. Thunder snow is coming.
Thunder snow? I don't know what that is. The window is important? Let's look at things.
If he actually had a hand in this, it would explain why Lisa's body was left frozen for all that time. The body wasn't stolen. It wasn't that he couldn't find it. He just left it there. It's definitely a possibility.
Did you leave the body there?
Why would an agent as skilled as you close the Lise Clarkson case without locating her body?
Good question. Maybe we just weren't as skilled as you think back then.
I was too busy skateboarding.
Isn't that right, my fairy?
You reported the body as being stolen. Was that truly the case?
Meaning?
Meaning there's a possibility that the body wasn't stolen, but purposefully moved instead. Maybe someone ordered someone else to get rid of the body, or even store it in a specific place.
But who? And for what purpose?
In order to use the body for something else. You never considered that? Perhaps there's some connection between the frozen body and the fact that Sang Rouge is still being produced.
It's still being produced?
Hey, Aaliyah, how about explaining yourself clearly so that even I can follow along?
No.
Someone extracted the ingredients to Sang Rouge from Lise Clarkson's body. That's what you're trying to say, isn't it, Belle?
So that they could go on producing the inimitable drug without Professor R.
Well, that's some bold information to just tell us before we get to that point, but okay.
What?
Drug addiction destroys people, physically and mentally. It makes them capable of doing anything just so they can get their hands on a fix. Abusing a corpse? That's nothing to an addict. And with your dependency, I suspect you might know just what that's like.
Maybe we do. If you threaten to take this away from us, I might have to kill you both right here. And steal all your $100 bills.
Okay. That was an odd addition to that sentence.
Spine-tingling, scary stuff, isn't it, my fairy?
You sure got a twisted sense of humor there, Morgan.
Simon, why are you still nervous?
Does Agent Jones need pizza in order to calm down?
Probably.
Why does he hate being out in the field so much? He knows we need to be on our absolute guard against this guy. Why can't he just pull it together?
Come on, don't glare at me like that, Aaliyah. I told you, I'm out of my element here, remember?
This isn't the time or the place.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just really nervous.
You're making him more nervous. Stop looking at him.
Morgan's a legend. And now he's right in front of us, and things are all tense. I'm sure it'd give any normal agent a stomachache.
Incidentally, Simon, why did you decide to stop working out in the field?
Don't ask. It's a long story.
I couldn't save someone.
I don't
It was
mind.
sad.
We have lots of time, don't we?
Dewey, in your weird dream state, you were like dying.
I could even make you another cup of coffee, if you like.
Fine then. I'll try to make it brief. See, I used to work out in the field. Even had my own partner.
But my partner said pizza was lame, so I killed him.
But we had a little rivalry that sort of ruined our relationship. It was over a woman, of course. You know how it goes. We fell in love with the same girl. At the same workplace, too. Then one day, the three of us went to go do a stakeout at a restaurant over in East Boston. I pretended to be a customer while my partner waited in the car, and she waited in the building across the way. Well, it only took a few minutes for my partner and I to lose our heads. We started engaging in this dumb contest to see who could impress her more. Things were looking bad. I knew I was gonna lose. Then, something happened. Right in front of me, a customer starts choking on something. Face was pale, froth at the mouth, the whole 9 yards. I got up at once, but my partner stopped me. Didn't want us to blow our cover. So what did I do? I ignored him. Helped the guy anyway.
What a hero.
I couldn't stand by and watch that. I couldn't help myself.
But it was a trap.
Next thing I knew, I was a hero. The guy survived, the restaurant thanked me, and I'd even managed to win the heart of you-know-who. It felt pretty good, you know, one-upping my partner right in front of his very eyes. But that was the beginning of the end. A few days later, she and I went to go get some bubble tea at a cafe in Brookline. And a man comes up to me and said,
I thought he said Brooklyn in a funny way, but it was spelt Brookline as well.
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the person you saved in that restaurant.
Feeling a bit cocky, I said, "All in a day's work, my good man," and tried to brush him away. But he held out an envelope to me and said,
My client broke 3 ribs thanks to the unnecessary Heimlich maneuver you administered to him.
Oh.
He wants you to
This is
ensure
still
that
kind of a
he'll
dumb
be able
story.
to get the proper treatment.
You didn't save my life, you ruined my death.
I thought I'd saved someone. But all I ended up doing is wasting a lot of my precious time wrapped up in an astronomically stupid court case.
Is that really a reason to not be out in the field,
It
though?
also blew our cover, so our target found out about us. In the end, I was taken out of the field and banished to a meaningless job that anyone with half a brain
I
could
guess
do.
them taking him out of the field makes sense. But his nervousness out there seems weird.
No, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, well, that's what happened. Of course, I also lost the love of my life and went back to being a lonesome loser. And that's why I hate being out in the field.
I like to imagine that the love of his life didn't, like, leave him because of probably money problems due to the court case. But like as soon as she heard, oh, you actually broke his ribs and didn't really save his life, he did not need that maneuver done on him, she was like, what? You didn't save him? Oh, I'm dumping you right away.
Oh, come on. I tell you all that and you're not even gonna say anything?
That was long, Simon.
Hey, I warned you. I told you it'd be long.
But you said you'd shorten it, Simon.
Oh.
Poor Simon. It was a dumb story, but I still feel bad. Silence, Simon!
Looks like Agent Jones is actually mad about something for once. But he got what he deserved. I mean, showing off during an investigation? Competing with another FBI agent? I'm surprised he was only transferred. Agent Jones, I'm sorry for not responding to your story. It was just so bizarre. I wasn't sure what to say.
I feel like what you're saying right now
Sorry that the
isn't gonna make
greatest
things
trauma
better.
of my life ended up being too bizarre for you.
Well, what do you expect? All you ever talk about is pizza or hitting on women. Honestly, it offended me. I felt like I was listening to a teenage boy tell some misogynistic conquest story.
Is competing with another guy to try to, like, get the affection of someone really misogynistic?
Whoa, Aaliyah, hold on a minute here. Despite how I may seem to you, I am actually pretty popular with the ladies.
Well, this conversation sounds like it might get
and
misogynistic,
you know that
but...
coworker of mine? She's the one who came on to me. Besides, I only told that story because a certain someone asked me to. It's what happens when you're a popular guy.
Okay, Simon.
Is this all some big joke to you? I'm really losing my patience here.
You simply have yet to awaken to my masculine charm.
Okay, Simon, you can stop
Maybe you should try
anytime.
getting some more experience under your belt.
Agent Jones, are you trying to get me to sue you for sexual harassment?
He's digging his own grave. Isn't he, my fairy?
Aw, come on, Morgan, not you too. I'm sure a guy like you can tell why women might find me attractive.
What?
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
I just mean, you know, imagine it for a minute. A woman who you wouldn't necessarily call beautiful, yet still possesses some unique charm. You see women every now and then who you wouldn't mind spending a night or two with, right? And I'm like the male version of that.
Good for you?
Come on, you know what I mean. Some women just prefer a man who's a little below the norm. And they're usually with a different guy each time you see them. From straight-laced businessmen to gold chains and fake tans. They prefer
I really
buffet
don't know what's
style,
happening
you know?
anymore.
Anyway, my point is, we've all got this special kind of sex appeal.
I don't like Simon anymore.
I couldn't even keep track of all the sexist remarks you made just now.
Hey, just cool it for a sec, would ya? We're having a guy conversation here. This is all just strategy I'm using to try and loosen Morgan up.
Sure. Whatever you say, bro. That was
Ominous.
too much for me.
It's almost like a manifestation of the atmosphere in this room right now.
Alright, let's talk about lightning.
Do you hear that thunder? It's probably...
We're
Oh,
in Massachusetts.
I didn't mean to do that.
That's the norm for this time of year.
What did you say? It's probably thunder snow? I was looking at the movies. I was not paying attention to the subtitles. I was looking at Dead Body, and was that one like down there, Buffalo 67?
Well, I'm not used to the cold.
What's Kubi?
If possible, I'd like to finish this up before we get stuck in a snowstorm. Agent Jones, after we're done here, Agent Jones, is something the matter?
I was just thinking about the ladies I've been with. Do you want to talk about that some more?
Snap out of it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Do you? Then stop daydreaming.
I think he's suffering from pizza withdrawal.
Okay. I just...
You just what?
He has to go potty.
My stomach's been letting some thunder loose, too.
Could have said that in a better
Thunder?
way.
That coffee was just so good,
It what? We don't have all day here.
You really don't, can't figure out what he's talking about?
The coffee was just so good, it, summoned forth a massive tsunami from within me.
You know, Simon really is losing a lot of points with me
Excuse
lately.
me? What is wrong with you? Now is really not the time for this.
Right door at the end of the hallway.
Thanks, pal. Hold on. You can make it. We can do this. It's not very far.
I wanted to see him walk to the bathroom. I'm sure he did a silly dance.
We promise you, we did not put laxatives in the coffee. Coffee is a sacred drink, remember?
Motherfucker.
Was that an appropriate response?
There's no doubt that the report omitted information linking Morgan to the Clarksons. I need to get him to confess. Oh yeah. That reminds me. There's a secret weapon in Agent Jones's briefcase.
More about the indulgences, but nothing else. I want to talk about the pickled honey.
He's chain smoking it non-stop. He's clearly dependent on it, which means he might be dependent on other drugs as well.
I mean, there's pill bottles.
Mr. Morgan, I heard that you were always a smoker. Did you ever wonder if that was the reason you contracted your illness?
It's an illness he contracted? I don't think that's a term you would use for cancer, right? And I don't think she would mention that if he had lung cancer.
What does that have to do with this case?
Nothing. I'm just personally curious about it.
Sometimes, people die in car accidents, regardless of how well they take care of their health. Other times, they slip on their bathroom floors and crack open their heads. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I'm not concerned with statistics. I'm just curious about you, right here, right now.
We switched over from nicotine to this. It's less addictive. That's one step in the right direction, isn't it?
Perhaps, if we're talking about withdrawal symptoms or physical dependencies. But it still seems like you're smoking too much at once. Honestly, it looks to me like you have a mental dependency.
Maybe. But so what if we do?
Surely you know about gateway drugs, yes? When a person starts to use one drug, it becomes much easier for them to branch out and try other drugs as well.
Like, he already had smoking under his belt. I don't know if you really need to care about that as a gateway drug.
The first drug acts as the gateway that leads them to stronger substances.
Oh. Are you trying to say that's going to happen to us?
Look under his floorboards. He might have the cocaine.
No. I'm simply saying there's a possibility.
There might be some cocaine in the fireplace.
Agent Jones probably won't be back for a while. Actually, now might be my opportunity to make some real progress.
Yeah, because he was really stopping progress. I mean, okay, he actually was when I actually interacted with him, so she isn't wrong.
Have you ever seen this before?
What am I looking at?
And please, don't say no.
Was it?
Sun Rouge.
Oh, it's a drug.
The drug we once chased. What about it?
Is he addicted to Saint Rouge?
Saint Rouge is still circulating. It's changed shape and its composition is slightly different now, but it's still very much alive. But only in a very limited part of Louisiana.
Okay. So it's not
You want a
circulating a
surprise?
wide area.
Did you somehow know this would happen?
Copies of another drug being circulated isn't exactly a rare case.
I'm wondering just how much it's connected to the, like, red seeds. Because those were technically a drug, right?
But Saint Rouge is special. The inimitable Enigma powder. The origin. It has many names, and no one was ever able to copy it. We've also been trying to figure out what it's made from ever since it appeared. But it's impossible to analyze. After all, it appears to be made from common ingredients that can be found anywhere. But if you try to use those ingredients, all you'll end up with is a mundane hallucinogen like DMT. If you're lucky. No. Saint Rouge requires a special recipe. The original recipe, which someone's been guarding this entire time. Someone who survived the incident in Le Carré.
It's over here. Gotta look at those old letters again.
He read these over and over again, like a prisoner rereading letters from his loved ones. But the last letter was delivered years ago, according to this postmark. That must be the last time he communicated with whoever was sending these.
She
Yet,
was able to
he
get a
left
lot of
them out in
information
plain
from
sight.
sitting in that chair.
All this time.
It's a trap! Don't talk about it! He's tricking you!
Immediately after they found Lisa's body, I went to go see Patricia. In order to interrogate her, of course.
So you told us.
But I was unable to meet with her.
She refused to speak with you, didn't she? That's so like her.
No, she didn't get the chance to. You see, she's gone missing.
Oh no! Did he say what and I missed it?
To put it more accurately,
Maybe I
no
was saying
one's
oh no
seen her
too
since
much.
the afternoon of the 28th. According to her employees, she shut herself up in her room for several months before she disappeared. But since that sort of thing happened often, they didn't think anything of it. On the morning of New Year's Eve, they noticed her window was open, and when they went up to check on her, she was gone. But no one knows how long her window had been open for.
The giant reached in and grabbed her.
This is just my hypothesis, but on December 28th, a strange man visited Le Carré and was spotted near her mansion. That man must have found some way to lure Patricia into his car, the '89 Cadillac that he bought used. Then, the two of them drove north to Trenton, where they boarded a train to Boston. They would have arrived here around midnight on the 29th, or perhaps early morning on the 30th. I believe this man is the same Billy Bishop whose name was previously recorded by the airline. So, what do you think of my guess? I'd love to hear your opinion as a former FBI special agent.
How would they sneak her in here, though?
Now we get it. We aren't persons of interest. We're the suspects. But what about our alibi?
What alibi?
I've had enough of your bullshit. You expect me to believe you haven't taken a single step out of this room? That Agent Jones is your witness? Surveillance cameras can easily be tampered with,
How easily, though?
especially by someone like you, who knows all about how the FBI works.
You're possessed by death. Go and take a look at your own face in the mirror. You look like the Grim Reaper. After you visited both Le Carré and Greenvale, you left a mountain of corpses in your wake. You can make all the excuses you want. I'm immune to them. Right here, right now, I want to know everything. You tell me the truth.
Yes! You're good, Bill. Damn good.
He loves it.
Brimming with potential. Don't you think she's the perfect partner for our last dance? What do you say, my fairy? Don't you agree? She's good. So good. What do you want to know? We've got nothing to hide. Go on. Question us. This is how it's got to be. Doesn't this remind you of something? You know what I mean, my fairy?
What do you mean? Like, was he waiting for someone to be his partner to help him finish solving the cases? Like for a big finale? He's being too vague, and I think we're just going back to 2005. There we are.